Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 9th day of January 2022. I hope you're all safe and healthy today, and I hope that you and your family are safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Hopefully, you had a nice and enjoyable weekend. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders who are out here every day trying to save people's lives. Also, blessings upon those that pick up garbage to keep streets, sidewalks, parks, hallways, buildings clean. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries for us to keep us fed, to keep us with water, to deliver our mail and other important items. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children who represent the future, that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography and child pornography, of prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the profiteers and on the perverts that make this industry, that create this industry, and that continue this heinous, disgusting, human destroying industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, again, our future, living in the streets. And millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tonight, scheduled basketball game at 7:30 at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks are going to be playing the Milwaukee Bucks, former NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have beat the New York Knicks the last time we played. This is always a tough game for us, but I will say last year in December they lost. The Knicks lost to the Bucks, but it was one of the Quentin Grimes breakout games. I think he had like 6 threes in that game. So this is a different Knicks team, but this is pretty much the same Bucks team. So now this is game 41, officially the halfway point of the season. This is where the second part of the season starts in terms of the first part for the New York Knicks, and for many teams, is spent figuring out who your rotation is, what everyone's roles are, and so on and so forth. So the Knicks, of course, like that, spent this first 41 games, getting their rotation together. Tom Thibodeau chose the rotation, and of course, we know what happened. They went on an 8-game winning streak. The Knicks have won 12 out of their last 17 games, but there have been injuries. So as tonight, R.J. Barrett was, as I read, upgraded from out to doubtful, which means he's not going to play, but he's getting close to playing. I thought that him and Obi would be back by the Martin Luther King game, and it looks like they will. Obi Toppin, according to Tom Thibodeau, is ready to go. I'm expecting him to get some minutes tonight. Basically, he's going to be back in the rotation at the expense, more than likely, of Jericho Sims. I'd rather be at the expense of Isaiah Hartenstein, but as I always say, the cream rises to the top. Sims, to me, is the better player, and eventually he will be in that rotation. But tonight, probably he'll have to take a back seat. It'll be Isaiah Hartenstein, Obi Toppin. It'll be not Emmanuel quickly because he'll be starting, but it'll be Deuce McBride, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Hartenstein. Deuce McBride will come off the bench, and of course you will have Evan Fournier getting some minutes from the end of the bench. And then of course the starting 5 tonight will be Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Mitch Robb, and of course Julius Randle. Tonight, Chris Middleton and Serge Ibaka are both out for the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Middleton being the biggest key piece there. A very key piece in what the Bucks do in terms of winning a championship. But they can beat anybody without Chris Middleton. Also, they do still have Jrue Holiday and, of course, the freak, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year multiple times, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the last time they played, that is the Bucks, they lost big time. They lost to the Charlotte Hornets by almost 30 points. Okay, and so it shows you that any given night, any team could beat any team. And so That is important. But as we're going into the second half of this season, this is when teams start to make their move. Okay, teams that are prepared start to make their move. Teams that are getting hot, that are maybe at the bottom or out of the playoff picture, start making their move up in the standings. And teams that were high in the standings start making their move back. This is where it starts getting real. This is where the playoff positioning takes place. Over the next 2 months, between now and the end of March, you're going to see a lot of movement. The Knicks are in the thick of it right now, in the 6th seed, or tied for the 6th seed in the East with Indiana. Indiana's been playing tremendous basketball. Last night I watched them play the Charlotte Hornets, and they were losing to the Charlotte Hornets for a lot of the game, and then came back at the end and won. Halliburton is playing at a really all-star level. You got to say, Halliburton is playing at an all-star level. Last night they had full effect LaMelo Ball, and that's why this game was really close. At the end, Indiana was just a better team. And actually, the standings show that Charlotte only won 11 games this year. Indiana's won 23. They're again tied with the Knicks. Actually, the Knicks are a half game behind them. They have 23 wins. The Knicks have 22 wins. So the Knicks really are in the 7th seed officially right now. They can get back to tie into the 6th seed with Indiana if they beat the Bucks tonight. So now it gets real. The Knicks have their rotation. They're missing one piece in R.J. Barrett, but we have enough to beat Milwaukee tonight. We have enough to beat them. Keys for the game. Let's get with one that people usually overlook. Deuce McBride must play a significant amount of minutes. And I'd like to see him play north of 20 like he did in the last game. It's quite obvious, and I am very sure that Tom Thibodeau notices that when he gets those type of minutes, the likelihood of the Knicks winning is much higher. Okay, so I'm looking for Deuce McBride to get at least 20 minutes tonight. I'm not sure how Tom Thibodeau's going to manage the minutes with Obi Toppin. Obi is just coming back. I suspect he's in tremendous physical condition. I also suspect, though, that his timing is going to be off. So with Obi, he may not shoot the ball well from three, or he might, but I wouldn't expect it from him. What I would expect is that speed. The speed is one of his elite qualities. I expect the speed to be on the open floor. I expect heads to be looking up to watch for him running the floor and for us to get a couple of easy baskets because of Obi's speed. I also expect him to take advantage, which he's very good at mismatches. When he comes down the floor before everybody else and somebody's back, he will take advantage of the mismatch, and they need to look for him in that. He can always get us 2 or 3 easy buckets that way. Okay. Another key, of course, is Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, the anchor of the defense, along with Deuce McBride and Quentin Grimes. I'm expecting Mitchell Robinson to not have to guard head up Giannis Antetokounmpo, but the Knicks have to really, with a guy like Giannis, you really have to build a wall. The Knicks are good at that. They're good at building the wall. You have to build a wall so that he can't, because this is a guy in Giannis Antetokounmpo that can literally go from half court to the basket and dunk on you with 2 dribbles. So you really need to build a wall so that he doesn't have that opportunity to do that. Okay? You want him to shoot 3-point shots. Sometimes he hits the 3-pointer. Most times he does not. He is not a great 3-point shooter. And so what you want is him shooting the 3-ball. Okay? You want him out of the paint, and you want him shooting the 3-ball. This man is averaging 32 points a game. He's averaging 32 a game. You're not going to stop him from getting his 30 points. What you want to do is make it as difficult as possible for him to do that, though. He's shooting 24% from 3. So you want him to shoot the 3. Okay? You want him doing it. They surround him, as they should. They surround him with shooters. And so you want to let him shoot and try to guard the other shooters. Grayson Allen, you have Brooke Lopez, you have Jrue Holiday, Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis. These guys can all, Joe Ingles, these guys can all shoot the 3-ball. And that's purposely done because you have a force in Giannis, one of the greatest forces in the league right now. And so you want to have shooters around him because it's going to take at least 2 or 3 dudes to build a wall to stop him from penetrating. Therefore, he's going to be kicking out. So you got to get elite defenders on the shooters that can guard the perimeter. Here comes Deuce. Here comes Grimes. Got to be able to guard the perimeter today because Giannis is going to be looking to kick that ball out. Okay? He's going to be tough on the boards. I think we can match that toughness with Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. on the boards. Because aside from Giannis, they really don't have strong rebounders. I mean, Bobby Portis is a really strong rebounder also. Brook Lopez, even though he's 7 feet tall, is not known as nobody that hits the boards that hard. You understand? So really, we could, Giannis is a monster on the rebound. He's a monster on the board. There's no doubt about that. But really, you got Bobby Portis and Giannis. Those are the two. But I think we could match up well with them with Mitch Rob and Julius Randle. Mitch Rob is, besides Steven Adams, the greatest offensive rebounder in the NBA right now. And then, of course, Julius Randle is a horse on the defensive boards. So I think we can match up well with them there on the boards. I think we could break even with them there. So the key here, we need Deuce to get at least 20 minutes because we're going to need his perimeter defense along with Grimes' perimeter defense. It's going to be a battle on the boards. The Knicks got to battle the Milwaukee Bucks on the boards. We really got to try to at least they average 49 rebounds a game. Right? They tough. We got to go at them like that though. Okay? And then the Knicks on the offensive end, we have to move the basketball, Mr. Jalen Brunson. Move the basketball, make sure everybody touches the ball, okay? And then pick your spots. The last time we played Milwaukee, what Milwaukee did is they put Javon Carter on Jalen Brunson. And he proceeded to lock Jalen Brunson up, okay? Javon Carter is like Deuce, tough defender out of West Virginia, okay? So we have to move that basketball. I'd like us to get that 25 assists tonight. That would be a big sign for us. Get that 25 assists. I'd like Quentin Grimes to handle the rock as much as possible. I want him to get as many touches as we can. Quentin Grimes makes very good decisions with the basketball. He's a playmaker, and of course, he's a tremendous spot-up shooter. See? So he's a key for us today. Then there's Julius Randle. Now, Julius Randle is like a wild card, and not the same way as I used to make him as a wild card, like in other words, good Julius, bad Julius. I think we're going to get good Julius tonight. But he's a wild card in the sense that if he's dropping that three ball, like he did in the last game and like he has done often this year, if he starts dropping that three ball, we're in good shape. And everything else remains equal, we're in very good shape, okay? You can't always depend on him doing that. I mean, he's not Stephen Curry, but he can get hot, as we know. So if he's dropping that three ball, that is going to be big for us to win this basketball game. If he's not dropping the three ball, I expect him to move the basketball, and he's been very good at that. Julius has been doing that at a high level. Like I said, Julius Randle is playing at an all-NBA level, not just all-star, all-NBA. He really is. I feel like right now he's playing really in the way that he's one of the 10 best ball players in the league right now. Not overall or forever. I'm saying right now in the league, he's one of the 10 best ball players out there, Julius Randle. So I'm really high on the prospects with him playing the way he's playing right now. So last game, he only had 3 turnovers. He had 3 assists, but he was dropping that three ball. He dropped 6 of them, against Toronto. So if he's like that, it's going to be good. But if he's not, I expect him to dish the ball, and he's been doing a good job of that. I think he's averaging almost 6 assists a game. Again, so that's good. And Mitchell Robinson, I think, is going to be a battle with him and Giannis on the boards. Julius is going to be battling. They're going to be battling with Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is playing big. He's a sixth man of the year candidate. He's playing really good for the Milwaukee Bucks. Emmanuel Quickly, Quickly also, who's now starting, if Quickly starts playmaking and hitting his three. See, Quickly's three has been off. It's on and off this year. Okay, it really has been on and off this year. But if his three is dropping, I think actually Quick is about due for a breakout game from the three-point line. I think he is. And if he starts dropping his, it's just as good as Julius dropping his. I'm very confident in Grimes. Grimes is a very consistent shooter. The problem with him is not him. He just doesn't get enough touches. He needs to get touches. He needs to get shots. At least 12, 13, 14 shots for Grimes today would be good. So these are the keys. Jalen Brunson's got to choose his spots. Okay, he cannot try to force the ball on Javon Carter. He's going to be unsuccessful. He's got to hit his open threes, which he's very good at. He's going to hit clutch baskets. He's very good at that. But he cannot try to force his way into the key and then miss close shots because he's well guarded. Got to move the basketball today. Very important. Okay, so those are the keys to me for the Knicks. Of course, Mobb Deep is now going to have one of its official members, and Obi Toppin. To me, Mobb Deep is Obi with IQ. That represents Mobb Deep, and now you could add Deuce to that mix. But we have one of the official members back in Obi. I don't know, like I said, how he's going to shoot the basketball, but running the floor to get us some easy baskets in this game is going to be very important. If he could do that, that's going to be a tremendous help. If he can get us about 5 rebounds, Obi's not the greatest rebounder. He's a good rebounder, but he's not a terrible rebounder, but he's not like Mitchell Robinson, okay? But if he can get us about 5 boards today, that's going to be good because Milwaukee hits the boards like crazy, okay? So we're going to need everybody contributing on the boards. Quentin Grimes also is going to give you good boards. Again, I'm mentioning his name a lot because he's that type of dude. He does everything. He's a great rebounder from the 2-guard spot. He's an elite shooter. He's an elite defender. He can play make. This guy is going to become more and more important to us, and this is only his second season. We got him at the end of the first round. Kudos to the Knicks management because this kid has become very important. And yes, I'm glad we did not trade him for Donovan Mitchell. Some people, believe it or not, are still crying about a Mitchell trade because some of you just like to cry. But anyway, get over that mess. That's over. There ain't no Donovan Mitchell coming here. He ain't walking through that door. And we don't want him if we have to lose Quentin. I want Q-Dog. And Q-Dog is becoming all that. So, we all right. We all right. So it's going to be a battle. Not going to be an easy game. Knicks should be ready to play. Let's get this W. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. So.